HypeR, what? I actually never watch, or I don't really know much of HypeR's games or style, or I never hear about HypeR personally, so that's actually extra funny that I call them HypeR. That's funny. Anywho, welcome everybody. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game. This is a tiebreaker for HypeR and leZael. First game, HypeR went ahead and showed us a very, very nice opening. Nice expansion style opening. Gonna go ahead and put those two bunkers down, keep them safe, trying to get his third up. However, leZael did have a large army advantage, not so much in numbers, which it did seem that he had an army advantage in numbers, but also just in the pure economy wise, the amount of gas and money invested in those big end game units really putting HypeR on the back end. Unfortunately, he did lose the first game. Second game, we saw a really nice tug of war between these two players as leZael just barely able to take out the big tech units HypeR was actually barely able to take out those tech units and went ahead and scared leZael away. leZael went ahead and GG, well played that game. Looks like leZael is going to scout the long way, not going to get the last scout in. That's always a little unfortunate because sometimes we see the opponent do a little cheese, and it's really this scenario right here where the probe is going to scout last that allows that cheese to win. But it looks like we are going to see no cheese coming up quite yet. Supply depot going to go down. Might not finish it though. Might just want to go ahead and plug up that wall as he has something else in mind that he doesn't want his opponent to see quite yet. And there we go, the nice cancel. I love it. I love it when players do that. Very, very nice. We want to give a big shout out to everyone hanging out here in the chatmosphere. We have Evil Clown Live, Hacknap, Mobius Reactor, SC Rainbow Dash, Siamiam, Tirte, Tom 16, Tron Wolf, Vamplex, CP Arnie, FM2, Hyperion, Kidney Mula, S3, LT1C, SC Zark, as well as Sebi T-Rail, Zang Dang. A few of these guys in chat are in the tournament. Hopefully you guys are having a good time playing your games, and hopefully if there aren't any problems with uploading replays. If there are, feel free to PM me. I am BCM Palomino in the Bacon chat. That's the tournament chat room in SC2 EU. So feel free to PM me if you guys are having any trouble, and I can manually go ahead and move you around. We are going to have a very fast command center, but very interesting. HypeR deciding not to put that command center on the low ground was able to deny any scouting. So right now leZael, not sure what leZael is going to opt to do. You see the third pylon going down in base. We aren't seeing any 4-gate shenanigans. We are going to see a very safe expansion going down for HypeR, as he already does have his Zealot and Stalker. Slow probe already taking a lot of hits, but staying alive. Bunker going down. Here we go. Here's the timing again. This Stalker and Zealot are halfway through the map, and this bunker just went down. leZael is going to be in more than enough time to actually put on some hurt before this bunker is down. Some nice little scoot and shoot from both players. HypeR feeling a little hyper vigilant, perhaps for a very good reason. Oh no, one Mariner is down. That Zealot looks like it is going to go ahead and survive. Put on a bit of pressure. 3 Grax is down. This is a standard, very standard expansion. No second gas yet. It's just he's opting to put it in his base. And actually, with that expansion in his base, I think both of these expansions are going to time out just about the same time. So it's kind of like both players did a safe expand. For Terran, that was in base. Factory going down for HypeR. And for leZael, that was after your Zealot Stalker, adding on to 2 gateways. Both doing safe expansions. Looks like they are going to be active in just about the same amount of time. One SCV going to go ahead and get produced here. That was a style a while ago. I'm sure it still is for some players, where they actually, it was some pro gamers were starting to do it, where they put 2 in-base command centers, saturated their expansion super fast, and went ahead and tried to get those 3 expansions taken as well. So we did see one SCV go ahead and get again purchased in base, delaying that expansion a little bit more, but these expansions are pretty timed out, pretty darn close to each other. Well, no, Lonely SUV moving across the map at just about the 7-minute mark is going to find the ramp at about 7:05, 7:07. Gonna get pew-pewed so fast. Right now, HypeR saw 3 sentries, a zealot, and a stalker. Will that let him know that we are going to have a robotics facility coming up right after? 2 gases already down. Saturation is on its way for the natural of Mr. Zeal. Now this map in particular is going to be a little difficult for, could be a little difficult for Mr. Zeal, as this close air position can be quite brutal. HypeR has a very nice route that he can take to go ahead and deny this third over and over again. Likewise though for Zeal, Zeal has a very nice position. He can fixate himself just around here, put pressure onto the third, tempt the natural, and also if these rocks aren't down, he can force HypeR into a really awkward position with his army. And both players opting to go ahead and saturate these naturals. No third coming up quite yet for either opponent. We do see this first immortal coming out. We're seeing this over and over from Zeal. He wants to get those 2 immortals out. He actually did opt for the observer first this time. Very nice. I like this. This is safe playing so that he can go ahead and get his third down in a reasonable time and be safe. We're not seeing anyone rush. We're not seeing Zeal rush hardcore into the Colossus, which can really, even though Colossus is a very powerful unit, it can backfire and you can be left with too few gateway units. And really, we're seeing Zeal playing very smart, very safe. I like it, as it is going to give him a very strong mid-game army. And a bunch of Marines coming out. Looks like he does want to time it out with this +1 if possible. 2 medevacs on the field. 1 medevac on the field. This observer knows exactly what's going on. Nice little pickup coming down. This observer sees everything. As you do see, the units are ready to take it now. Unfortunately, HypeR didn't know that pew-pew came from a unit right here. He might have been able to go ahead and still scoot around, but that little pew-pew right there was more than enough to go ahead and push HypeR's prong attack back. Not seeing the Colossus quite yet coming out, but here he comes. No, actually a second observer. Zeal might know that his opponent likes to do these prong attacks. He wants to get observers across the map in these very, very vulnerable locations where medevacs can go ahead and hang out and put on the hurt. Here we go. Looks like Zeal is moving. Is going to opt to move out. Guardian Shield going to go ahead and go down in just a second. There we go. And Force Field's going to trap these units here. However, the medevacs are able to just lift off and walk away. Very nice from HypeR. Sorry, I keep calling him HypeR. Oh, gosh darn it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so... I don't know what to say about that. Nice little... This annoying little... this annoying little annoying little observer is gonna stay right on top of the army of HypeR. Hyper vigilant. As he's gonna see exactly where this army is going. He's gonna be able to see these medevacs moving on into separate positions, taking out the observer. It's exactly what Zeal wants, as he has made more observers to go ahead and make sure that there's no shenanigans going around in his base. Maybe that's exactly what Zeal wanted. He wanted HypeR to go ahead and waste those scans. No more economy for you. That's one less mule, baby. There goes a nice force field. Are we going to see the pickup? Losing a few units. Nice pickup going down. A lot of units. His force field's actually working for his opponent for a second. A nice second round of force fields going down. Really, really whittling down this Terran army. Yeah, it looks like right now Zeal just has too much stuff. And here we go. HypeR is in a bit of an awkward position right now as these rocks aren't down, unfortunately. And here's what I was talking about a minute earlier in the game, is this position right here can really force HypeR to be in an awkward position, split up his army in a way that he might not feel is optimal for the engagement. More and more units going on, but it looks like we are seeing a Tectus Storm. I have noticed Zeal likes to get his Colossus out He actually hasn't. He's actually opted not to get a single Colossus out this game. That's very interesting. Went Immortal into the Twilight and into the late game High Templar unit. I really like that. I really like that decision making by leZael. HypeR moving out some units. Looks like he does want to put on some hurt. He's going to be able to possibly take out this third pretty easily. But right now, HypeR's main army right now defending his natural does look a little weak. leZael might notice this. Did he see these Bedevacs going out? No, not quite yet. He is just dancing around. Going to go ahead and use this Stalker as some bait. This Stalker will know ahead of time. Doesn't see a third going down. He's gonna go ahead and scout. And look at this guy. He's a cutie pie. And here we go. Here's the drops. These drops being very effective as HypeR feels like he needs to go ahead and run back home with his entire army. Oh, and here's the power of the drops as we do see leZael's army taking an extraordinary long time to get back home and deal with this. And are we gonna see the drop off and leave? Oh, it looks like he is going to dedicate to take down that tech. Very powerful, taking down the Twilight. No, possibly no blink, as well as no. Oh, nope, we already do have the charge going down. And here we go. What is the plan of attack? Third Nexus is officially down. Some High Templars going down. Not going to have the Storm upgrade quite yet. These two High Templars do have two Storms in them, and we are seeing mostly Marines, and there goes the painful Storms going down. And right now, HypeR really on the back foot here. Unable to take his third. With that Storm Tech coming in, these Marines are in a lot of trouble. Both players. The rocks are down now. HypeR able to use advantage of this map terrain. Go ahead and put himself in a nice position. Big drop going down. Looks like he wants to do a doom drop on the natural of his opponents. I mean, on the third of his opponents. We actually might see a base race situation going down here. HypeR saying, I don't want to engage in this army right now. I just want to dance. And dance he shall. Huge drop. Now there's a Raven here, giving him the option of a point defense drone. That one High Templar we saw a little earlier in the game had a Storm, went ahead and put it down. Lots of damage for him. Oh, we do have another Storm here. Very nice from leZael's part. Very nice. Actually using that energy for the feedback instead of the Storm. Interesting, very interesting decision. And the dance back and forth. There was that. We did hear that point defense drone going down. Economic damage going down right now. Right now, as leZael is worried about his expansion, he's not going to be getting attacked. All these units going down. I think that is going to be the end of the game, as HypeR doesn't have an army back home. Let's try to look at the production for Terran. We do have a total of, oh my god, that's an orgy. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. There's nothing wrong with two dudes making out. And here we go. Storm in the bank. A few Immortals to back them up. Some speed lots. Will be more than enough to go ahead and clench it. I really like HypeR's play though. Making really, really good decisions with his drops, as well as some really hard decisions. With that Doom drop that we saw right near the end, I think that's exactly what he had to do. And it was good that he made that call.